Oh boy, here we go with another one. Another rant by Jay Grizz. Let me tell you something. Let me just hop right into it. Bret the Hitman Hart. Bret the Hitman Hart, as you all know, if you watch the show, if you listen to the show, he is my favorite wrestler of all time. He is my number one. As a kid, I always enjoyed watching Bret the Hitman Hart. Unfortunately, the man that we see outside of the ring is very cringe. You remember back in 97, I think maybe about 90, yeah, it was about 96, 97, where Bret Hart, they pretty much had him out as a crybaby. Who would have known that stuff right there would have translated to reality? Crybaby is an understatement. The guy continues to cry about everything. But outside of everything, there's one thing in particular he doesn't stop crying about. That is Bill Goldberg. He hates Bill Goldberg. He blames Bill Goldberg for everything that's went wrong in his life. Accidents happen. I highly doubt Goldberg meant to kick the guy in the face. Goldberg was an inexperienced wrestler. Bret Hart had all the experience in the world. Goldberg made a mistake. All should have been forgiven, but it's 2024. That incident happened back in, I think, the year of 2000. 24 years later, Bret Hart will still go into conventions, will still have interviews, and still trash Bill Goldberg. Listen, I wouldn't be mad if Bill Goldberg went to Bret Hart and kicked him in the face again for talking all that trash. Rightfully so, let it go. You just move on from certain things. Accidents happen. They do. But you have to carry on. Get over yourself. It's ridiculous. You're such a crybaby. Nobody wants to hear it. And then, oh my God, again, they have a documentary called The Death of WCW or Who Killed WCW, whatever it's called. We've seen these things before. Bret Hart, he poos. I can't say the S word. I don't want to get demonetized or canceled or kicked off or anything. So Bret Hart takes a big doo-doo all over WCW once again, as always. Never saying anything positive about it. You know what's funny is the fact that he always felt that he had no place in WCW. Well, I don't remember there being a gun to making Bret Hart even sign to go to WCW in the first place. You could have stayed with Vince McMahon. Okay, because they didn't offer you the same amount of money or because you wanted more money, you decided to go. You could have stayed in the WWF and jobbed out to Shawn Michaels because apparently at some point in time that's what Bret said was going to happen. He was going to keep jobbing out to Shawn Michaels. And they didn't really have any future plans with him. I doubt that would have been a true thing, but that's what I heard Bret say. Again, who knows what would have actually happened, but you made a choice, and you made the wrong choice. So you take no ownership, no accountability for your own actions, and you blame. The blame game, Bret the Hitman Hart, that's who you are. That's what you do. Stop crapping all over WCW. Oh, Eric Bischoff was an idiot. Eric Bischoff. Just because they did not handle you the way you wanted. They didn't handle you correctly. Did you do everything that you could? No, you didn't. You showed up to events late. You showed up to everything bitter because you're still bitter in 2024 about things. Nobody wants to work with a bitter woman. Nobody wants to work with a bitter-ass female, go to work with that nonsense every day. That's what you are, sir. You're a bitter-ass female because you never let anything go. You keep crying about it. It's utterly ridiculous. I'm surprised. I'm very surprised that you were able to shake hands with Shawn Michaels and go through that whole forgiveness party with Shawn Michaels and Vince McMahon. Had that never happened, you would still be crapping all over Shawn Michaels and Vince McMahon to this day. It is utterly ridiculous. I'm sorry. As a fan of Bret Hart, I'm only a fan of Bret Hart. As a wrestling fan, that's as far as it goes. Outside of that, what we've seen, I would never want to have a conversation with Bret the Hitman Hart because I don't want to hear Bret Hart blaming Bill Goldberg while I'm asking him, hey, Bret, what are your favorite matches? And then I have to hear Bret say, oh, you know what wasn't my favorite match? It was a match with Bill Goldberg ended my career and all this other crap. Nobody wants to hear that. Get over it. He cries and complains about everything. There was one time where he cried and complained. He had a podcast at one point in time. Did you know that? He had to shut it down because he was too negative. He kept talking about Seth Rollins and how Seth Rollins was an unsafe worker and kept injuring everybody. He cried about Triple H having a higher ranking than him in a video game, in a wrestling video game, because Triple H had a higher ranking than Bret the Hitman Hart. How ridiculous is that? I mean, I get it. I would rank Bret Hart a little bit higher or maybe at the same level. Triple H has done a lot for the business. Let's not act like Triple H isn't a good wrestler or even sometimes great and has had a lot of great feuds. Is he the same exact wrestler as Bret Hart? Talent-wise? No. Bret Hart is more skilled. Bret Hart is better. But let's not act like Triple H is a scrub of a wrestler. Let's not do that. That is also something that Bret Hart has to just stop crying about. Oh, Triple H don't have any good ideas. Well, Bret Hart, where are your good ideas? You got some? I would love to see it. Oh, that's right. You don't have a platform to showcase good ideas, do you? You don't have a wrestling organization to show your great ideas or your great, wonderful talents. No, because you're too busy stuck in the past bashing Bill Goldberg every chance you get, and also WCW and Eric Bischoff. Eric Bischoff and Bill Goldberg have been very kind to this man. While Bret Hart poos or doo-doos all over them to this day, they try to be respectful and say nothing but nice things about Bret Hart. Bret Hart, you're a piece of garbage for a human being. There's two guys out here that give you all the respect in the world. Respect is supposed to be reciprocated. You show them no respect. Why? You had a poor work relationship with Eric Bischoff, Vince Russo. Okay, cool. That was in 1998, 1999, and 2000. Let it go. Okay, let it go. That's ridiculous. You act like something more than that happened. An accident happened and things didn't go the way you wanted. But they're idiots, they're stupid, all this kind of crap. Nobody wants to hear that. Nobody wants to hear that. You're very rude, you're very disrespectful. Nobody wants to meet their heroes if this is how you portray yourself to be as the greatest of all time, or the best there is, the best there is, the best there ever will be, all that crap. Congratulations. Yeah, no, that's another rant by Jay Grizz. Thank you. Hope you enjoyed. See you soon.